Welcome all of you. In previous lectures of industrial chemistry, we have seen a variety of things, right from erection of industry, raw material, and how these raw materials are obtained, what are the sources of raw materials, and much more things which are very important from the view of starting an industry. Okay. So next segment of our lecture is what? That is safety. So we know that safety for an chemical industry is one of the prime subject. So by skipping the safety or by neglecting the safety of industry, that definitely going to harm industry. So safety is one of the very important factor that to run the industry smoothly, to run the industry in profit. Okay, so we can't avoid or we can't skip the safety of an industry. So then safety, how it is important and what we should do for the safety of industry, so that we are going to look one by one. So safety of an chemical process, it is one of the primary and prime requirement of industry. To run the industry smoothly, to run the industry in profit, the safety has to be taken, and safety measures are very important for any kind of industry. Okay, so then so what things are included or what things should be considered while taking a safety measures or while maintaining the safety of an industry? So which are those things that every industrialist or every management of industry has to consider? So then safety is related with certain points that we are going to discuss one by one. So then operating pressure. Okay, so we are discussing about, or the safety is concerned with chemical industry now. Okay, for example, so as a representative example, we will take any industry which is producing certain type of chemical. So then while producing any type of chemical, so what things has to be considered related with safety? The pressure, operating pressure. We know that to synthesize or to produce certain product, the reactions are carried out in certain vessel. Okay, that vessel may be a reactor. So as reactor is considered, so reactor should be maintained at certain pressure. So we know that to each and every reaction certain temperature is necessary or has to be maintained, or certain pressure has to be maintained. So then this pressure should be maintained properly. If it is not maintained properly, then whole process will lead to an explosion, that will be a major accident and company will suffer from it. Okay, so pressure should be maintained. Then after, second factor is temperature, is also one of the factor which can lead to a safety or an accident or an explosion. So temperature, pressure, then after concentration of chemicals. So for example, or if suppose, so we are carrying a reaction or carrying out the reaction at ideal temperature, ideal pressure, but not ideal concentration of reactant. So what will happen? Definitely again there are the much more chances of vigorous reaction, there are much more chances of explosion also. So accidents will occur. Okay, and again that will lead to an huge loss of industry. So maintaining a pressure, maintaining a temperature, and maintaining a concentration of reactants is also very important from the view of safety. So then for example, if certain reactor can tolerate certain pressure, so we have reactor A which can tolerate a pressure up to 100 psi. So it is very obvious that we have to maintain the pressure just below 100 or maximum up to 100 psi. If we cross this limit of 100 psi, then definitely that reactor will explode and that will lead to a major accident. So it is very important that to consider the safety measures related with temperature, pressure, and ideal concentration of materials. That may be a reactant or that may be a certain reagents. Okay, so next point of discussion is what? Okay, fire. So under safety, after discussing temperature, concentration, and pressure, so next point is very harmful, that is fire. So we know that in daily newspapers and on news bulletins, we also hear or see or look that certain news are coming some corners of industrial sector, that is certain industry had catched fire and there are more casualties of employees, and there is much more destruction of industrial equipments and much more things. Okay, so that is due to fire. So fire is also one of the factor which can lead to an accident. So what measures has to be taken? First is what? The industry has to take proper measures regarding the fire safety. So related with how we can manage a fire, or what are the some steps, by implementing those steps we can avoid a fire. So how we can extinguish the fires, what are the things available, or the amenities available, or the facilities available in industry by which we can avoid a fire, or in case the industry catches or any unit of industry catches fire, what measures industry can take. So related with fire, so the precautions, every minor and minute precautions related with fire has to be taken industry and industrial management to avoid a fire. Okay, so fire is also one of the factor which can lead to an safety or an accident. So then one thing related with fire, that is fire safety audit. It is also one of the good process which will prevent industry from fire accidents. So what is done in fire audit? So in fire audit, each and everything is checked, analyzed, that the things which are related with fire and fire extinguishing process. So if we does the industry has the correct stock of fire extinguishers? So what conditions does the industry has, and certain water resources to avoid the fire, or the certain safety measures related with fire. So these are things which are considered in fire safety audits of industry. Next is what? Industry management and HR sector. It's mandatory of this sector to provide and correct information to each and every employee regarding the safety. So industry management and the HR sector has to train each and every employee for the safety. Okay, so unless and until each and every employee has adequate knowledge of safety, so we can't avoid the accidents. If employee is well trained regarding safety, definitely an industry can avoid an accident and can maintain a good safety in industry. Okay, so this is the thing which are related with the safety, that is related with the information provided to employee. So what about then environmental regulations? So we know that central government and state government is imposing certain laws and laws on industrial sector regarding safety. So what kind of things are considered or included in the safety laws? So things are very common, that is what kind of pressure you have to maintain regarding the ingredients of any chemical reaction, regarding the temperature, and one of the things which is also very important, that is discharge of effluents. So after completion of certain reactions, certain effluents that may be a liquid which is discharged out of the industry into the water bodies. Okay, so after completion of reaction, certain amount of water or certain amount of waste material in form of liquid or solid will be discharged by industry into water bodies, that may be lake, river, or whatever the disposal places. So what will this do then? So there are very strict laws of central government and state government, that is the effluents or the discharges coming out of the industry has to be treated well. By this way, what will happen? The hazardous things will be converted into less and less hazardous. By this way, we can obtain a correct safety measures regarding the effluent discharge of an chemical industry. So next point is what then? So next point is there are also some laws regarding the discharge of gases also. Okay, certain industry discharges certain gases. Suppose metallurgical industry will discharge the gases such as sulfur dioxide or some metallic gases, non-metallic gases, which will be quite hazardous to environment. So there are very strict laws by central and state government are imposed on industrial sector to avoid such discharges or to avoid the pollution created by industry. So next is what? So these all the things we have discussed about safety. Next is what? So which are the equipments, what are the sources, or how we can maintain safety in industry. So what are the sources by which we can maintain a safety in an industry. So one of the very important thing or the provision for employees in industry, that is a material safety data sheet, which is also called as MSDS. M stands for material, S stands for safety, D stands for data, and S stands for sheet. So what actually this MSDS means? Okay, so this is one of the example of MSDS, that is material safety data sheet. So what is given on this sheet? So very valuable information is provided to an employee who is working in an industry. So this valuable information is what then? So first is what given, section 1. So it is, what is MSDS? It is a sheet of paper on which the information of certain chemical component is completely given. So by obtaining this information, we can easily avoid the accidents, or we can easily maintain the safety in industry. So what kind of information is given on this MSDS sheet? So that we'll discuss one by one. So what is section 1 then? Section 1 is about the product information. So name of product, then after who is the manufacturer of this product, from what is the address and what is the mailing address of this manufacturer. Then second in was section 2 is hazardous ingredient. Suppose we have for example benzene, okay, and we are going to look over the MSDS sheet for benzene. So definitely if we have a bottle of benzene, so from where who is the producer of this benzene, that will be given, its address and all these things will be included in section 1. Section 2 will be of related with its hazardous ingredients, what kind of ingredients are present in that material. Then section 3 is physical data. So what kind of physical data is given then? For example, we have benzene. So what is the physical state of this chemical? Whether it is liquid in state, whether it is in gaseous state, whether it is in solid state, that information will be provided. Then second one, what is its melting point, what is its boiling point, and what is about its stability. Certain chemical is stable at 20 degrees Celsius and same chemical is highly unstable at 60 degrees Celsius. This is what the stability. Okay, so this all information will be included regarding the physical parameters of that chemical. So second one is fire and explosion data. So for example, again we will have a benzene. So then regarding the fire and explosive data, some information will be given over there regarding benzene. So at what temperature benzene will catch fire, at what temperature the benzene can explode out from the bottle. So these all information and the parameters or the readings or the figures will be given under this section. Okay, the fifth section or the fifth point is reactivity data. So reactivity data is also very important from the way of safety. So regarding that material, the reactivity data will also be provided by this sheet. For example, benzene again. So benzene or sodium, okay, we have sodium. So we know that sodium is highly reactive. If we expose the sodium with water, what will happen? We know very well. It will catch and fire, and that fire will be more vigorous and explosive depending upon the amount of sodium and amount of water. Okay, so these explosive precautions will be provided to you by this MSDS. Okay, next one is what? Toxicological properties. So what kind of information will be provided under this section? the information will be regarding the toxicology or the toxicness of that chemical. So what will happen if you are exposed to benzene? The vapors you will consume, and what will happen if you consume those vapors of benzene, whether they are very toxic, whether they will create an respiratory disorder, or whether they are carcinogenic to you. These all things will be provided, these all information will be provided to you. So the toxicity may be acute. Acute means what? Short term exposure will, that means sudden reaction or the sudden action you can see. So if we have exposure, or my skin is exposed to phenol, what will happen? Certain acute action will be there, that is sudden action, that will it will start burning sensation in my skin, then after it will turn my skin into black skin. So this is what acute. And what is chronic then? So if my skin is exposed to phenol, so at first few hours nothing will happen, and then after few hours or next day what will happen? My skin will become black. Then after one more day my skin will start itching. Then again after time course it will have a burning sensation. This is what the chronic exposure. Okay, so acute means for sudden and for some time, and chronic means what? It is a delayed response and it remains for a long time. So these things will be also provided, or this information will be also provided by this sheet. Then next one is also very important, that is preventive measures. How we should handle this chemical, or how we should behave with this chemical. Okay, so this what precautions we have to take regarding the handling of these chemicals. Either we should wear gloves, goggles, some safety suits or shoes, or mask, inhalers. So what kind of safety measures we have to take during handling this chemical? This information will be also provided by this MSDS. Okay, last is what then? Second last is first aid. So what will happen if my skin is exposed to phenol? Okay, so it's very simple, that phenol is weak acid, and we have to treat the phenol or this exposed part of my skin with NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. So what sodium hydroxide will do? Sodium hydroxide will react with the phenol which is on my skin, and that will convert the phenol into salt. And after washing my skin with plenty of water, whole phenol will be carried out by water, and my skin will be free from phenol and free from further hazards. Okay, so this is what an example of preventive measures or the first aid which we have to take. So last is what then? Preparation information. Preparation information means what? What kind of preparations or reactions we can carry out with this chemical. Suppose we have a certain chemical which will react vigorously after oxidation reaction, and which may lead to an explosion. Okay, so that will be very dangerous to carry out an oxidation reaction on that chemical. So this information will be also included in this sheet, that is preparation. What kind of reactions are suitable for this chemical? Certain chemical can't tolerate oxidation reaction and will lead to explosion. Certain chemical can't tolerate the reduction reaction and may lead to an accident or explosion or fire catching process. So this is what we have to care about, that is preparation. This is an whole and very important and vital information which is provided by the material safety data sheet to an employee who is working in chemical industry, which will help for an employee to take a certain safety measures and carry out the process very safely, and that ultimately will lead to an safety of an industry, and ultimately it will lead to an smooth running of an industry. So this is how the safety is taken. Okay, okay, so next point is what? Chemical process. So what is chemical process? So definition or the statements are very easier for chemical process. So chemical process is the process in which starting material is converted into end product with help of some amount of energy and by implementing certain steps. Again, what is chemical reaction? A starting material with help of certain energy, with help of certain successive steps is converted into product. So starting material is converted into product with help of energy and with help of certain steps. So this is what chemical reaction or chemical process. So which are those steps which are involved in chemical process or chemical reaction? Okay, so this is the diagram which clearly shows about chemical process, that is input of material, certain processing or the transformation will take place, and finally output will be our product. So next is which are those steps which are involved in chemical process. Steps are very simple, that is first is the pre-treatment of raw material. Certain raw material before an reaction needs some pre-treatment. Pre-treatment may be a agitation, that is mixing properly. Pre-treatment may be a rising the temperature of raw material. Pre-treatment may be a lowering the temperature of raw material. So such kind of pre-treatment steps are taken for raw material. So that is step number 1. So second step, that means actual conversion or transformation will take place. That means reactant A will react and further the product formation will take place, or reactant A will react with reactant B and finally the product will be given out. So that is transformation step, or it may be also conversion step. Third is what? Separation of products from other byproducts. So in a chemical reaction, what actually happens? So if the reactant is of 100 gram, for example, okay, so this 100 gram reactant will be transformed into product and the product quantity may be 80 grams. So what is remaining? 20 gram. So 20 gram may be a byproduct, 20 gram may be unreacted material, unreacted starting material. So it is our first most prime duty to separate our main product from the byproducts or the main product from unwanted products. Okay, so we have to separate our 80 gram product from this 20 gram. So this is also one of the steps which is involved in chemical process. And last is what? Refining and purification. So after separating this our product, that is 80 gram, so what is our next step? What will be our next task to do? So our next task will be what? That to purify this product. So there are various methods of purification, such as crystallization, distillation, then solvent separation, and these all things. There are many methods of separation. So by implementing